The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the September 22nd, the magnificent Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, well, we're going to go check on the circumstances of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off early, and send it to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, and you should be, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Great to be back with you after a little bit of a time off out there. Wonderful trip up into Detroit, Michigan, hanging out with my buddies out there from preschool. How about that? If we take a look at the right now in the markets out here, you got most U.S. indices are trading the upside. To the downside is just the New York Stock Exchange off 2 points. The Dow is up 43. The S&P is up 13. NASDAQ 153. Russell just slightly positive. Transport's up 2 points. Semis up 67. Now that's interesting. We'll take a look at the semis because I did go ahead and form a TD9 count top on Friday. So we close above Friday's high, negates that signal out there. We'll take a look at the other U.S. indices as well. We've got gold at $55. She's trading out at $37.61. That's 1.5%, nearly 3% for silver, $1.20 right now. 44.15 is the print there. Light sweet crude is off 29 cents. Natural gas is down 6 pennies out there. Copper's off a penny as well. If we take a look at the charts I've got up on my screen out here, it's the only one with a daily TD9 count signal of the instruments that I'm following on this page here, and that's the XLP, one of the sectors inside the S&P 500. Now, silver discretionary sector. This is gap down. It's going to form bar number 9 today. That says it confirms the TD9 count bottom pattern today. It'll complete that pattern tomorrow. We do have a 30-minute time frame chart up on our screen. That's the very bottom right-hand corner. There's no bottoming signal there that I see. So likely today is not the day. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, we're trading below profile support. If the TD9 count bottom doesn't slow down price, then price would make a move towards 75.61. 77.36 happens to be, consumer staples. Thank you, Mr. Bill. Discretionary. 77.36 is the profile support level on the monthly time frame. That is the XLP. That's the only one that I've got with a TD9 count bottom. That's the sector inside the S&P 500. Now, if we take a look at let's do this here. Let's go take a look at a couple things. I haven't been with you for a week. Let's look at the New York Stock Exchange. It's advanced decline oscillator. That is panel number 1 on the left-hand side. You'll see the reading at the bottom panel. Panel number 2 on the chart is at minus 54.03. When it gets below zero, provides a message that sellers are the ones with an edge. Now, we need 2 consecutive days below that. We closed below it on Friday. We're trading below it today. That provides sellers with an edge. If we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange itself, it does have a wave 7 top that formed about 3 days ago. Price is below its green oscillator and change line, and then it has lost its momentum. Has it lost its momentum, really? Well, it has, technically speaking. If we look at the spot VIX, so to put these 2 charts here together, if we're going to see any concern to move to the downside, what we need to see is the advanced decline oscillator below zero threshold level. Well, it is. But we also need to see the spot VIX trade below, close below, remain below its 50-day exponential moving average. That's currently at 1611 at 9:30 this morning, 9:15 this morning. We were trading just above that. As you can see, watch that level, 1611. As long as we remain below that, then prices, then conditions for the S&P 500 are bullish. Now, speaking of the S&P 500 or the indices out there, let's go take a look at each of them, or many of them. Let's put up the daily cash indices. We start with the Dow on the upper left-hand side. In the case of the Dow, if I just simply open up the screen, we're just looking at the daily time frame. So we're looking at really the short-term time frame out here, right? A daily. If we take a look at what price is doing right now, it is trading above its green oscillator and change line, which is at 46,216. It does have a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that's triggered. That would require a bearish reversal candle. Conditions here for the Dow for its daily time frame are bullish. This is going to be day number 4 to the upside for the Dow. That suggests that we should see at least a 2-day retracement that I would think begins tomorrow. It's a likely outcome. If we take a look at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 forms a TD9 count top. It does the last Thursday, negates that signal on Friday. Different than the ES Mini that we took a look at. The ES Mini will likely negate its TD9 count top today. But the S&P 500 cash index indicated that top on Friday. Now, what it needs is a bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. The NDX 100 also negating a TD9 count topping pattern on Friday. It does not have any kind of signal out here. A bearish reversal candle would confirm a sell the deep point top, but short of that, price should continue to rally. In the case of the Russell 2000, it requires a bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Short of that, price should continue to rally as well as price remains above its green oscillator and change line. It's the semiconductor index. That's the one that you want to watch today. Why is that, Stevie? Because on Friday of last week, no, I take that back. On Thursday of last week, the semiconductor index completed a TD9 count top. That is in essence being tested right now. The high is 63.11.59. We haven't gotten all the way up there, but if we do a close above 63.11.59, that pattern will get negated. You can take a look at Stevie's screen out here. Basically, you see that we do not have any kind of topping patterns on the daily time frame out here. Now, the Dow Jones Transports would be the exception. They topped out back in July out there. We're trading below its green oscillator and change line. It has remained below this on a daily time frame, quite frankly, since about the end of August out there. So that's a key level. If price is able to close above it, it being 15,672, we would likely see a further rally. The NASDAQ Composite, much like the NDX 100, also negating a TD9 count top. On Friday of last week, Thursday of last week out there. And New York Stock Exchange, no topping pattern as we speak right now. A bearish reversal candle would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. So basically what we've got out here, as you can see, are bullish conditions in essence across the board out there, the semis being the only one that is a holdout at this moment in time. If I just take a look at this chart here, this is just simply a daily time frame chart for the S&P 500. I believe I had used this chart at one point in time to answer somebody's question about gaps and whether price will get back to those gaps out there. And I just simply, on this chart here, was really pointing out several gaps that are still open to the upside out there. The point of this chart is I want you to take a look at the TD9 count breakout levels. That's what you need to see price close below for 2 consecutive sessions for there to be any meaningful top out there. That next level out here for the S&P 500 is 64.4398. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So as you know, I spent last week in Detroit catching up with some old buddies. It only takes about 2 minutes of time for guys that, have known each other for 60 plus years out there just to feel like old times. In Detroit so it's the first time I've been back, quite frankly, in decades out there. We actually stayed in downtown Detroit, just hang out there. So I actually got to explore the city that I really grew up in and didn't know a whole lot about. Some of the architectural buildings down there are extraordinary. It is as safe as can be in downtown Detroit. It is got a lot of cool action out there. Now, the only thing that's not safe, I will say, about the city, I was out late a couple evenings, as you can imagine. Well, I guess you could say early in the morning out there. And Detroit does have a rat infestation problem. There's no doubt about that. The ground seems like it's moving in the evening. But in the daytime, things, I guess they just hibernate and they just kind of stay away out there. But in any event, good to be back with you. I've got the 4 equity future contracts up on my screen out here. Got the ES, the NQ, the Dow, and the Russell. Now, the ES and the NQ, they negated their TD9 count tops on Friday. Prices trade above profile resistance and a oscillator change line. In both conditions, those are bullish conditions. In the case of the Dow equity future contract, it has wave number 7 out there. If we don't get above Friday's high, which is 46,738, you'll have a wave 7 topping signal. But really, its overall signal would be neutral because price remains above profile resistance as well as its green oscillator and change line, which is at 46,550 right now. In the case of Russell 2000, it also has a maybe not. Let me open this up here. Let me see where this count started at. G here. No, it does have a wave 7 signal as well. Now, as long as we don't tick above Friday's high, 24.9860, that signal will be in place. But you can see prices testing its green oscillator and change line. Prices above that level. There's a new profile that is attempting to form. And this profile, by the way, is forming at this moment in time below price. The top of that profile being 24.4420, the center being 24.3330, the bottom being 24.1150. When a profile forms below price, generally speaking, it is a bullish bullish condition out there. So we've got bullish conditions really across the board out here. Yes, we've got a couple of wave 7 signals out there, but with price trading above profile resistance and their green oscillator and change line, conditions remain bullish out here. So that's what's going on with the daily equity future contracts. If we take just simply a quick peek into one of them, probably the ES Mini, we've got the ES Mini on our screen out here. You'll see as soon as this populates a TD9 count top that formed on the 30-minute time frame chart. It was bar number 8 that identified that top out there. That formed at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon as we came to the close on Saturday. What price then did overnight is it pulled back at about 3:30 in the morning. Happened to be up as price was pulling back to the 66.99.50 level. That's a TD9 count breakout area. Price closed just below it for that one bar. Then we got back above it. We tested again this morning at about 8:30, and then at 9 o'clock we took off from that. Now we are negating that TD9 count topping signal out there, so no top there. As we scan the intraday charts out here, starting with a 5-hour, 4-hour, 2-hour, no topping patterns there. Nothing on the 60-minute time frame chart, negating the signal on the 30-minute. The 15-minute looks like there might be some TD9 count action. There most certainly is. So as we get into 11:30, you'll have a 15-minute completed TD9 count top for the 15-minute time frame. So why don't watch that high out there? Why? Because if price takes that high out, which right now, that high, I don't know if we're going to get a new high here in the next 8 minutes or not, but the high of the prior 15-minute bar, that is 67.37.50. So assuming we don't take that out right now, if we do close above that, that tells you about another strong upward momentum move out there. What should take place out here, it would be better if all 4 15-minute charts had that same pattern, where price should pull back towards 67.21.18 out there. Just for the heck of it, for blanks and giggles out here, let's put the NQ up on our screen, and let's go see if this has a 15-minute TD9 count topping signal as well. And we'll see if there's anything else out there that is worthwhile to pay attention to. So now when the 15-minute chart here populates, come on, it has already completed a TD9 count top. Now, this shows that 15-minute bar the 15-minute chart has a new profile that is forming below price. So we just took a look at the Russell 2000. That's attempting to do the same thing, but for its daily time frame. Our first level of support on a retracement out here would be 24.895. The second would be about 24.874. That latter is the green oscillator unchanged line. Short of that, I don't see any topping patterns for the 5-hour, 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute time frame chart. It's just the 15-minute time frame chart. So just a short, brief respite while the market just simply gears up to continue its move higher out there. Let's go to our first question that came in. This is from Dan, who wants to take a look at ticker symbol LAES. And what we're looking for here is a daily TD9 count topping pattern. And yes, Dan, you have correctly identified that, in that it will complete a TD9 count top today. Now, the high of the pattern so far, the high of today, that is at $4.80. Let's assume that high doesn't get, we don't trade up to that high again today. Then what price should do, if price closes above that high, whatever the high is today, if we negate that, if we close above that, it's going to negate that signal. Now, price is moving into a swing point, Dan, that takes us back to the trading session, daily is, on June 26th. And that trading session had volume of 21 million shares. So far, in just under 2 hours of trading, we're up with 28 million shares. Price is pushing that with volume. So what that tells us is that if price does close below the high of that swing, the swing from June 26th, that's at the $4.63 level. We're at $4.51 right now. Even if we close below it, that's a test and rejection with volume. That says we'll be back up there to test that level again, $4.63 on a weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, price, where did it close last week? Price closed at $4.29. 1 penny. 1 penny, Mortimer, above its TD9 count break down level. That is a bullish signal. Price is trading inside a monthly bullish structured profile. Dan, this says that over time, price should make its way up towards the $10 level, the top of that profile. That's assuming that we get a close above $3.49. So overall, with regard to LAES, going to complete a TD9 count top today with price testing a prior profile, a prior swing point with volume. It should get back up here to test that. What price should do is go ahead and pull back towards support. Now, that's all the way down to $3.45 out there. retracements here, Dan, really since that bottom have not been more than 2 consecutive days out there. So I would say more likely than not, instead of price moving back or targeting 345, not that it can't do that, we'd be looking for about a 2-day retracement out there. Let's go on to our next request coming in from John C., who wants to take a look at NVIDIA, as do many folks out there. NVIDIA is trading out at 175.45. So we take a look at NVIDIA. What we know is we've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top on the daily time frame, with price trading above profile resistance at 174.27, but finding it's traded above. That was a resistance level, the top of its profile. The next resistance level is its oscillator and change line, 176.89. So price is trading really in between that area, 174.27 and 176, and change out there. No idea which way NVIDIA for its daily time frame wants to break. The weekly time frame has a TD9 count top, where price consolidated with inside its profile, support at 158.09, resistance 184.48, and the monthly chart looks hunky-dory. That is, unless a bearish reversal candle were to form, and then we'd be looking at a pullback towards 159.53 to 146.89. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. So, speaking of Detroit, I have a few stories here. So, nothing like seeing your friends do well for themselves. And one of my friends, of Assyrian descent out there, he and his family really invested in Detroit 4 or 5 decades ago, at least 5 decades ago, maybe even longer than that. And they bought up all kinds of property. They owned the parking lots for Tiger Stadium, all kinds of dirt, all kinds of buildings, all kinds of homes, a lot of it in Corktown. Now, Corktown is where the old Detroit Tiger Stadium used to be. It's the oldest city it's the oldest community in Detroit. That area, Corktown, and which back in the 1800s, I believe, was mostly Irish descent, as people were exiting that country back then, and it's gone over a number of turns out there. But what's really cool about it is Ford Motor Corporation. So several years ago, Ford Motor Corporation decided to expand their wares down to Michigan Avenue, and really, it's really a cool area. This was an area where I'd say a couple of decades ago you wouldn't want to be hanging around even in the afternoons, and now it is just this up and coming new area, Corktown, that is out there. So really great to see them. They sold all kinds of properties to Ford Motor Corporation, so that was a beautiful thing to see. Right now, though, on our charts, we're looking at TTD, and this for Glenn M. And Glenn, we've got a TD9 count daily pattern here, bottom pattern for its daily time frame. That went ahead and formed on September 16th. The low of that pattern is very important. That low is at 43.51. There's no problem in testing it. You just don't want to see it close below it. If you do, it'll negate that signal. Now what price is doing is trading inside a slightly bullish structured profile. And if you can get a close above the 45.37 level, you ought to see price get up to 47.20. Hold on, that was probably the wrong number. 45.37. Then price should get up to 47.24, the top of that profile. If price can take that out, then you're looking to move up towards 54.08. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, what you'll see out here is price has actually tested that TD9 count bottom. Let me see out here. There's a TD9 count bottom that went ahead and formed back in April 11th's low, 42.96. What did we get down to last week? We got down to 43.10. So we haven't tested volume last week, 132 million. That was going into a volume of 61 million. So you're pushing that with volume. We're still inside that swing point. So when you're inside a swing point with volume, price can get down and test that low. So it's possible you could see a run from 47.71. Now, what was triggered last week was a Rhodes momentum indicator pattern, or signal. And if we do get a bullish reversal candle at week's end, not where we're at on Monday at 11:33, which right now shows it being a bullish engulfing candle, that would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. So that's what you're really pulling for out there is, and then you'd like to see price be able to get back inside a profile. Up top, that's means a close about 53.76. So you've got a daily bottom, the potential for a weekly bottom out here, and on the monthly time frame, really not so much. Monthly time frame, just testing prior swing point areas out here. If you go back to November of 2022, when price was down here, it was 131 million shares that traded that month. We were then back down here just a few months ago. That was back in April of 2025, 206 million. So it was 206 versus 131. And this month so far, 22nd, we're down with 290 million shares. So TTD continues to push lower with volume out there. And what that says to me, Glenn, is be careful out here. Maybe all you're really going to get is a counter trend move out there. It's got potential out here, but we keep pushing, or it keeps pushing lower with volume. So it just says caution, Will Robinson. Glenn, you also want to take a look at ticker symbol CAVA. Let's go ahead and pull that up on our screen. See what this is trading at right now. Price right now is printing out at 64.50. It's with inside its daily profile. The daily profile has support at 62.36. Resistance up at 65.12. If we take a look at the weekly time, so I don't have a bottom. Hold on, Stevie. So the low of the TD9 count was 62.33. Where did we close here? What's that close? That closed 62.39. You have a daily TD9 count bottom with price consolidating inside that daily profile. You will get a TD9 count weekly bottom as long as price closes on Friday below 67.55. So you're not looking for a ton of rally out here if you are long CAVA, because you'd love to see a weekly TD9 count bottom pattern form. If it doesn't form, then there's no bottom out there. We could see price continue to move lower. Lower could be getting all the way back to 39.05. As you see on the monthly time frame chart, price is trading below profile support at 76.78, and 39.05 would be the open slot. We're not going there right now. That's just a potential. That requires a failure on the daily, and certainly would require the weekly not forming a TD9 count bottom. So, Glenn, that's what we've got going there. Hope that helps you out, and thanks so much for your request. Tom in Texas wants to take a look at a couple instruments, those being the GDX and the GLD, and the specific comment was, hey, can I comment on the parabolic move? Turns out that Tommy's not going to be able to do the show today at 3 o'clock, and I will go ahead and fill in for him then. So, Tom, what I want you to do is turn back in or listen to the archive of that. What I will do is either have my black background charts up so that we can look at that, or I will take some snapshots and we'll put that in some PowerPoint so that I can share with you what's going on there. When I say what's going on there, so you can see how gold is trading in all the major currencies and all the Middle Eastern currencies out there, and any other charts that I've got for gold. But first, with regard to commenting on the GDX, which I've got up on my screen, you'll see on the daily time frame on Friday, what price did was negated a daily TD9 count top. It did it after about 4 or 5 sessions out there. We are trading above profile resistance. We are trading above its green oscillator and change line. Conditions here are bullish. On a weekly time frame, we have continued to extend wave number 7, or letter G on my screen out there. That continues. Now, on a weekly basis, we are also forming bar number 8 of a TD9 count. That says there could be a GDX intermediate term top that forms between this week and the next two. The monthly time frame chart says, I don't know what kind of top you're talking about. I am in a parabolic move out here. That can continue. Now, what I can share with you, what I'll try to do during the time period that I'm between when I end this show and then start the 3 o'clock show out there is take a look at some of the old prior tops out there, not of the GDX, but of the gold contract. And what we'll see out there is that it generates, I believe what we're going to see out there, it generates topping signals out there. So nothing different than what you and I are looking at right now with regard to the GDX, other than the potential for a weekly TD9 count top. Price wants to continue to motor on. You asked about the GLD, so I'm going to put the GLD up on our screen as well out here. And the GLD, I think we're going to see similar things. For example, the GLD on a daily basis may go ahead and negate its TD9 count top. At the top of the hour, we looked at the gold contract, which also had the same kind of pattern out there. Now, in the case of the GLD, Tom, what it needs to close above the high from September 17th. That high is 341.24. We're at 343.47. Weekly time frame chart, no topping signal whatsoever. Monthly time frame chart, the same. However, how far back do we have to go for that? Yeah. I'm going to hold off on calling it a wave number 7 signal out there for the GLD. So, Texas Tom, please tune back in or listen to the archive show of Tom's show at between 3 and 4 today, and I'll have some additional gold charts for you and everyone else to take a look at. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. Ticker symbol out here is BFRG. That's Bullfrog AI Holdings out here. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. So, Dan, this does on a daily basis have a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. That was confirmed on the trading day of September 15th. The initial price target is about the $1.49 level out there. Now, price is trading into a prior swing point. This formed on September the... This formed on September the 16th out there. The volume on that swing was 151 million shares. In 2 hours of trading, we've done 71. So price is pushing into that swing point with volume. Should be able to take that out, and will continue its A to B equals CD pattern. What you'll be watching for as price gets to that $1.50 level is some type of bearish reversal candle. If one were to form, you would then have at least a short-term top. That would be a Gartley sell pattern or a sell the D point top out there. And then price would target support on a pullback out there. Could be the top of his profile. Could be an oscillator and change line. That's not really what we're looking at, just something to consider as price continues to move higher. We are trading about profile resistance at $1.37 as well. On a weekly time frame, what the weekly time frame really needs to do out here, and let me just simply focus in on it, zoom in on a bit here, out here, makes it a little bit easier for everybody to see. So, Dan, we can see that this was a bullish structured profile that had formed out here. Price has been below it for well more than 2 consecutive weeks out there. And so if this is only a counter trend move on a weekly basis where price would find resistance is at $1.48. So what you're really looking for here as an additional signal from a bottom that this is more than a counter trend move would be a close on a weekly basis above $1.48. Now, if you get that, you should get up to $1.68. The monthly time frame chart has a completed TD9 count bottom pattern. Actually, you also are going to get a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom signal as long as price finishes one tick to the upside. This month, price has exceeded the prior month's low as well as the prior month's high. That provides us with a key reversal bar out there. So that's a bullish signal. So you got a monthly TD9 count bottom. You've got a daily Rhodes momentum indicator bottom out there. Maybe it's a weekly wave 7. I'm not even going to go there right now because all we want to look at here and pay attention to is that $1.48 level. So I'm pulling for you, Dan, for a close above $1.48. That would be a beautiful thing, and then you'd be looking at $1.68 out there. So hope that helps you out with regard to Stevie's review of Bullfrog AI Holdings out there. Sat P would like to take a look at LULU out here. So let's go get that up on our screen. And Lulu is trading out at what do we got? $1.70, 170.63 out there. And you're looking to add a few shares. So let's look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, and price has gotten back inside its profile. The bottom of that profile is really the same as the center at 167.18. So that was strong resistance, and price was able to gap above it. It's been tested 3 days ago. In essence, was almost tested on Friday, tested again this morning. So support seems to be in at $1.67. So if you wanted to add a few shares now, you could. Just know you've got resistance up at 176.18. That is the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. You really would be looking for price to close above that to then say, okay, I may want to go ahead and fill the gap. What else would you be looking at? Well, on the weekly time frame chart, your resistance area is that red oscillator and change line. Currently printing at 177.09. So you really need to see a close above that. I see an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. Did this form a buy the D point pattern last week? Let's go find out. Let's put in the A to B point out here. Let's just simply move that over to the C point area. And did we make it? Boy, close, but no cigar. 151.33 or thereabouts. And the low of the pattern, the low of last week, 159.25. I don't know if I can really call that a buy the D point bottom. The monthly chart looks basically horrible. Let's open this up and see what this is going against. This is taking us back into a swing point that formed back on March of 2020. March of 2020, there were 68 million shares. We're trading inside that right now on a monthly basis with volume of 136 million shares. You know what, Sat, I'm going to suggest that you stay away from Lulu at this point in time. This has maybe got an A to B, confirmed A to B equals CD pattern downside. So the swing point, August 2024, volume of 52 million shares. 52 million was passed with 68 million shares. Wow. So longer term, is LULU, is that Lululemon out there? I think that it is, right? It's Lululemon, yeah. So this is, man, maybe they got too much competition out there. I'm in a gym 4 or 5 days a week at least, and I see all kinds of different clothing. In any event, there's an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. A 1-to-1 would get you to approximately the level of 126.14 out there. So I'm going to say, with regard to Lululemon, now let's take a look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. Why don't you just hold tight on this one? Let's go see if the next instrument that you were looking at, which is ISRG, has any better set of patterns out there. So Intuitive Surgical, we'll get that up on our screen out here. So Stevie says hold off on Lululemon. With regard to Intuitive Surgical, the daily time frame has got a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. Price is traded above its red oscillator and change line. This ought to get you up to 459.28. That is the bottom of its daily profile. Maybe you'll be able to even do more than that. So we like that. We like the weekly chart. Why? The weekly is going to go ahead and complete a TD9 count bottom pattern this Friday. So it formed that last week. It's pulling back into a swing point from April 11th. Had volume of 20 million shares out there. Last week we were into it with 13 million shares. Beautiful. So you're moving into a swing point with lighter volume, forming a weekly TD9 count bottom to add to the Rhodes momentum indicator bottom for its daily time frame. And the monthly is testing profile support. Now we're trading below it, it being 448.24, but these patterns are suggesting that we're going to rally. The weekly says I want to rally towards the 470 level, 470 to 473. And you got 459.28 as resistance on the daily time frame out there. So of these two instruments out there, Sat, I say Intuitive Surgical is the better of the two for you to take a look at. So I hope that helps you out, and thanks so much for your request. I don't have any other requests at this moment in time, so let's do this here. Let's move back to oh, wait a minute. I may have another one that's come in. Let's see. Now that Tesla blew north, it is uncharted territory. It is in uncharted territory for Tesla. You got TA. I don't know if you're talking. Well, we just put Tesla up on our screen out there. Maybe TA is also a ticker symbol, and maybe that's what you're referring to. see here. Now that would be tantium. No, that's not okay. So Tesla. Well, here we'll take a look at Tesla out here, Tom. You can see that there was a daily TD9 count top that went ahead and completed on September 18th. So that was on Thursday of last week, much like the NDX and other things that we're looking at. And what's it doing today? It's negating that signal. So a price closes above the high from last Thursday. The high for Tesla last Thursday was 432.22. Going to negate it. It basically immediately tells you about a strong upward momentum move. Well, let's look at the weekly time frame chart. The weekly time frame chart is in an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The B point had volume. It was the week of May 30th. Volume there was 423 million shares. It was passed with 557 million shares. So there's a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The initial price projection on that, let's go ahead and see if we can give you that information out here. It's going to be approximate, not right to the T, but going to be close to the T. So we're already beyond the 1-to-1 level. So that says, if you got a bearish reversal candle on a weekly basis, that would be a sell the D point top. Here, bar number 8 of a TD9 count could form a weekly TD9 count top between this week and the next 3. Monthly chart is pushing into a swing point that has volume of 1.9 billion shares. You're at 1.4 billion shares right now. You're pushing in with volume. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We still got the charts here for Tesla up on our screen. The monthly is going to confirm an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside at price close about 414.50. It's got the volume. The volume from that swing point was back in December 2021. 649 million shares this month so far, or 1.4 billion shares. So close about 414.50 ought to take you up to at least that 1-to-1 price projection, which is 502.31 out there. That is where Tesla is likely headed to. We've got a request to go take a look at light sweet crude. We're looking at the November contract out here. So on a daily time frame, what we're watching for here, Freeze, is prices testing and so far rejecting the top of its swing point TD9 count, top of its swing point TD9 count bottom pattern that formed on August the 13th. If price closed above 62.10, we're at 62.20. You'll have a test and rejection of that bottom signal. Of course, price is trading below profile support. You really want to see it get back inside that profile. That requires a close above 62.63. So the daily time frame chart pushing into that bottom. If it takes out that TD9 count bottom, it'll trigger a daily A to B equals CD pattern to downside. The weekly time frame, price is trading inside the bullish zone area of it, or the buy zone of its weekly profile between 59.09 and 62.27 out there. The monthly time frame chart, the price continues to move lower, likely to pull back to test its breakout area once again, 57.15. You also have a profile support at 57.96. So that's what's going on. We take a look at light sweet crude. To finish out the show, we're going to go take a look at ticker symbol IREN. This is for Duncan Steve inside the Tiger's Den. This is going to complete a daily TD9 count top today. Watch today's high. A price closes above that, it being 42.93. Let's say tomorrow, the next day, we'll tell you about a strong upward momentum move. Weekly time frame, bar number 8, could form a TD9 count top between this week and the next two. And the monthly, you're basically at almost new all-time highs out there. There's no problem with the monthly chart. It's just the daily and the weekly that you want to keep your eye on. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. I'll be back with you at 3 o'clock live. We'll field more questions then, and I'll take a look at some different charts as well. Have a marvelous Monday. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to be back with you, and I'll look forward to seeing you this afternoon or tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. Take care and be safe out there.